Tonight, one of Australian sport's greatest moments. Ash Barty makes history, the first Australian to win the home Grand Slam tournament in 4 decades, but the best in the world still as humble as ever. Billion-dollar lifeline, support for businesses struggling through the Omicron wave, but for some, it's too late. The back-to-school test about to begin as bus drivers warn of a new infection risk. Gang war blitz, more than 100 arrested as police close the net on Sydney's warring crime families. And mission complete, a historic voyage reveals the mysteries of the deep in Antarctica.
Live from Sydney, 7 years with Mark Ferguson.
Good evening. It will go down as one of Australia's most memorable sporting moments. Ash Barty breaking a near half-century drought at the Australian Open, taking out our home Grand Slam tournament in style. She dominated the event, never dropping a set. But true to form, the champion remained as humble as ever.
When you're the world's best tennis player, who cares if you can't quite master the winner's champagne? Everything else in the past 2 weeks, Ash Barty was just about in complete control.
Ash Barty.
And winning the Australian Open has always been a privilege, and I'm really humbled that I just got to experience that opportunity, because it was a lot of fun out there last night, and yeah, I can't wait for it to really sink in, and it's going to be really special.
There were nervous moments last night, down 1-5 in the second set. But champions find another level, and that's exactly what Ash Barty did. She says her highlight of last night wasn't match point. Instead, it was this.
Put your hands together for Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley.
Receiving the trophy unexpectedly from Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley.
I honestly think the surprise of Yvonne arriving. I mean, I'd spoken to her early in the week and knew that she wasn't going to be coming to this tournament, and to have her surprise me and hand me a beautiful trophy is a moment I'll never forget.
And also this spontaneous hug with former player Casey Delacqua.
When I was able to see Casey and give her a hug, that's a moment I'll never forget as well, just knowing that my best mate was sitting on the court and got to share it with me as well. Looking back now, I'm not quite sure why I did it, but it just came out and it was awesome.
This was Ash's night, and we were all there for the ride. So how does a world #1 celebrate?
It was pretty quiet, actually. I was pretty wrecked, so I just had a couple of beers and I was in bed, and not too bad at all.
Her entourage tells a different story.
I'm not going to lie, Brett, I might be a little bit hungover. So
we went for a bit of a party until about 2:30 or 3, which is 5 hours past my bedtime.
Chris O'Neill's record as the last Australian winner ends after 44 years.
Incredible. I had a great day. Did a lot of media, which was interesting. Haven't done anything for 44 years.
Chris O'Neill won her final 6-3, 7-6. Would you believe the same score for Ash Barty, 6-3, 7-6. And they both beat an American.
I've had a good time with that. It was a really good trivia question for a long time.
That's 3 Grand Slams for Ash Barty. Australian Open, Wimbledon and the French Open. She didn't drop a set at Melbourne Park. The most dominant Australian Open performance since Steffi Graf 33 years ago.
Being able to do it here at home is really special, and I think it's a bit of a different feeling to the other ones, without a doubt.
Mum and Dad couldn't travel to Wimbledon last year. They had to watch the win on TV. They would not miss it again.
It wasn't going to be about the result. It was going to be about enjoying the moment with them. And yeah, I was so happy to be able to give Mum a hug. And it wasn't a few months delayed in giving her that hug for a celebration. But yeah, they were wrapped.
Australian of the Year, Dylan Alcott. The room of legends included Kathy Freeman. 3 Indigenous Australian women. A proud moment for Ash Barty.
I'm certainly not at their level. Kathy and Yvonne are exceptional people, exceptional athletes, and they have paved the path for so many of us.
So what's next for the Australian Open champion? Well, not even Ash Barty knows herself. She says she'll let it sink in, enjoy it for a little while before finally returning her attention to tennis.
Tournament organisers couldn't have dreamed of a better end to the Open. Ash Barty's achievement makes the Novak Djokovic visa saga feel a long time ago.
Would young Ash believe that you got to where you are right now?
Never in a million years, I think. You always dream and you hope and you never know. But to be able to experience these opportunities and to live through these moments has been really unreal.
Blake Johnson, 7 News.
Ash Barty can look forward to a new mansion and having herself immortalised in bronze as her hometown gets ready to welcome back their world-beating champ. Last night also adding millions more in prize money.
As crowds across the country witness history, Barty's Brisbane erupted. And so began the hometown Barty Party, pure elation for the new Australian Open champion they can proudly claim as their own. Her come from behind win captivating old and young.
Ash Barty, Australian Open champion.
The next generation inspired not only by her prowess on the court, but humility offered.
She's amazing. She's lovely to other people.
In Ipswich, where Ash grew up, the Barty bandwagon has been chugging along since she picked up a racket. Locals' faith paid off last night. They rallied at her home court in Brisbane's West today, where she perfected her craft, hoping now to carve out their own tennis fairy tale.
I feel like I really want to play tennis now.
Ash already has the keys to Ipswich after winning Wimbledon, but this morning the local mayor didn't waste a second making her pitch for a bit of Barty bronze.
Queensland Government opened up grant rounds for statues specifically for women, so we would love to be part of that as well.
With another $2.8 million in the bank, Barty's reportedly moving from this mansion, buying the land next door for what eventually will be Barty's big house, but not until the party's over.
I will head home in the next few days, not quite sure. We'll be able to sit down and enjoy it today and then take stock and go from there and plan what's next.
It was a moment that not only sealed her place in Australian sporting history, but had an untold impact on the future of our country's tennis.
It makes me feel happy because she inspires many people like me.
Tom Saker, 7 News.
And the special night for Australian tennis was capped off in the men's doubles. Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis, now also Open champions. Now known as the Special Ks, their success was even more extraordinary, winning after starting the tournament as wildcards. We'll have more on their match and the celebrations later in sport. It's a $1 billion investment in struggling businesses. The New South Wales government today revealing its support package to help get the state through the Omicron outbreak. But despite the huge price tag, some say it still won't be enough.
Offering up $1 billion serving of support after months of Omicron taking a big bite out of the state's businesses.
To help our small business sector get through to the other side so that they can bounce back better.
Targeted support gets businesses going, gets businesses moving through, and ultimately ensures that people stay in work.
For small businesses whose January turnover was down 40%, the government will pay 20% of their February wages bill, up to a maximum of $5,000 a week. The rebate for fees and charges will be increased to $3,000 to cover licences, rates, tolls, and now the cost of rapid antigen tests.
It is significant. Businesses will be able to provide those RAT tests and it won't be as expensive.
The serving could have been bigger, the State Treasurer lashing the federal government for not helping.
Well, I'm very disappointed. I was hoping to make this announcement standing beside the Prime Minister today and the Treasurer Frydenberg, but they're not to be found. Rather than the Commonwealth Government stepping aside, we expect them to step up as well.
You just can't keep putting things on the credit card over and over and over again. It's less money for NDIS, less money for defence, less money for education, less money for health.
Landlords of small businesses who've helped with rental relief will be eligible for grants of up to $3,000 a month, with an extra $80 million to help performing arts productions go ahead. Business welcoming any help.
We're in a surviving mode at the moment, just enough to pay the rent and the wages.
But say what they need is customers.
We're here, we're ready, we've got staff, we're firing, we're just waiting for people to come. I'm on my knees.
After a social media plea this week, CBD bar owner Stuart Knox says the next few weeks will be crucial.
The support package will help me sort of move the deck chairs, but I'm just not sure if it's the Titanic or not that I'm moving them on.
Businesses will be able to apply from mid-February, and after the delays with last year's support grants, the Treasurer's pledged the money will be paid out more quickly this time.
Cash in hand 5 to 15 days after they make that application.
But for the business, just there in the background, the Premier's announcement.
For us, it's just too little too late.
Jason closing down for good this afternoon.
As you can see, it's 12 o'clock today and
place is deserted. No customers, higher rent, it's just not viable.
Today, the number of people in hospital with COVID continues to fall, down slightly to 2,663. But it was the state's deadliest day, 52 deaths. 31 were aged care residents. Only 2 of them had had booster shots.
Some people are thinking, oh, 2's enough. 2's not enough. You need the 3rd, and for some people it will be 4.
Paul Kadak, 7 News.
The rapid tests have been delivered and there'll be thousands of extra bus services, but there could be a glitch with this week's return to school. Bus drivers are now worried about infecting student passengers after accusing the state government of a sneaky move.